Becky Lynch turns on Seth Rollins after his dark transformation. Rollins arrested on WWE Raw. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one of betrayal, heartbreak, chaos, and consequences. A couple once considered the power duo of WWE has now shattered into pieces in front of millions. Yes, we're talking about Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, and the night that changed everything on Monday Night Raw. In a storyline that stunned the WWE Universe, Seth Rollins descended into darkness. He attacked without mercy, turned his back on the WWE, and destroyed everything, including his own relationship. And it all ended with a shocking twist. Becky Lynch turning on Seth Rollins, and Rollins being arrested live on WWE television. How did it get this far? What drove Seth to this extreme? And what happens now? Let's take you through this explosive story from start to finish. The fall of the visionary. Over the last several months, Seth Rollins has changed. Once known as the visionary, the man who inspired the WWE Universe with his passion, athleticism, and style, something began to shift in him after WrestleMania 41. There, Rollins lost everything. He was betrayed by Paul Heyman. He failed to recapture the world title. He was ridiculed, mocked, and pushed aside in favor of newer stars like Solo Sikoa and Braun Breaker. The frustration built up. At first, it was subtle: darker ring gear, colder promos, erratic behavior. But over time, the cracks widened. Seth began refusing to speak to the media. He isolated himself from his tag partners. He grew obsessed with proving the world wrong. And behind the scenes, his personal life suffered too. Sources backstage reported that Seth and Becky, who married in 2021 and have a daughter together, were not seeing eye to eye, creatively or personally. Becky was focused on her in-ring comeback and title aspirations. Seth, he was spiraling. Raw. The night everything changed. It all came to a head on an episode of Monday Night Raw, now dubbed by fans as Blackout Raw. The main event of the night was set: Becky Lynch vs. Nia Jax in a no disqualification match, the culmination of a heated rivalry. But what fans didn't expect was that the most brutal blow would come after the match ended. As Becky Lynch stood victorious, Seth Rollins stormed the ring. At first, fans thought he was there to celebrate. But something was off. Seth didn't smile. He didn't speak. Instead, he looked at Becky with cold, empty eyes, and then snapped. He grabbed a steel chair, smashed it against the ropes, and launched into a violent tirade. He screamed at Becky, "You left me behind. You chose WWE over us. You betrayed me." Security rushed the ring. Officials begged Seth to stop. But Rollins was out of control. He shoved an official, flipped the announce table, and tried to attack anyone in sight. The crowd went silent. Becky stood in shock. And then, in a moment that shook the WWE Universe, she slapped Seth across the face and turned her back on him. Rollins collapsed to the mat, overwhelmed by rage, betrayal, and heartbreak. And then the unthinkable happened. WWE security, joined by actual police officers, entered the arena. They handcuffed Seth Rollins, read him his rights, and dragged him out of the building, screaming and kicking. The final shot of Raw was Rollins yelling, "I made this place. I made you." Backstage chaos. According to multiple backstage reports, the arrest storyline was kept completely under wraps. Only a few WWE officials and the superstars involved knew what was going to happen. The realism of the segment shocked fans and even staff. Social media erupted. #Rollins arrested began trending within minutes. WWE issued a kayfabe statement. Seth Rollins was detained following a violent outburst on Monday Night Raw. WWE does not condone unsanctioned attacks or disruptions of our live programming. Meanwhile, Becky Lynch reportedly requested space and time away from Seth, both on and off screen. Even in character, the emotional toll was visible. Becky was seen walking backstage in tears after the show. In a WWE.com exclusive, she muttered, "I tried to help him, but he chose this path." The follow-up. WWE press conference. Days later, WWE held a press conference with Triple H. Standing solemn at the podium, he confirmed, Seth Rollins has been indefinitely suspended from all WWE events pending a full review of his conduct. He also hinted at disciplinary actions being handled both internally and legally, keeping the line between storyline and reality intentionally blurred. Triple H praised Becky Lynch's professionalism and strength in the aftermath. "She was blindsided, just like the rest of us. She's handling this like the champion we all know she is." The press conference ended with one cryptic line from Triple H. "You can fall from grace in one night. But what defines you is how you rise after." Fan and superstar reactions. The WWE Universe was divided. Some fans sympathized with Rollins. They believed his breakdown was the result of too much pressure, betrayal, and injustice. Others were furious, accusing him, in storyline, of acting like a narcissist who couldn't handle being outshined. Superstars reacted quickly too. Cody Rhodes tweeted, "I've always respected Seth Rollins' talent. But last night was a disgrace. That's not leadership. That's weakness." Rhea Ripley posted, "Becky didn't deserve that. Nobody did." Even Roman Reigns, absent from WWE TV, posted a rare story that simply said, "Pathetic." Meanwhile, Becky Lynch posted only a black square on Instagram, with the caption, "Silence speaks louder than rage." Inside the storyline, sources now confirm that this is part of a major long-term storyline planned by WWE Creative. The goal, to rebuild Seth Rollins from the ground up and give him his most complex character arc yet. He will return eventually, not as the laughing, flamboyant messiah, but as a broken, dangerous, unstable force who believes the world owes him everything. This storyline is said to mirror iconic wrestling arcs like Shawn Michaels' 2005 Meltdown, CM Punk's 2011 Pipe Bomb Persona, Triple H's post-marriage tyrant run in 2003, but with a personal betrayal twist involving Becky Lynch at the center. Expect this to climax in a match between Rollins and a top-tier babyface, possibly even Becky Lynch herself, in a mixed tag or intergender clash at Survivor Series or WrestleMania. Where this is heading. Here's what we know about WWE's potential roadmap for this saga. SummerSlam. Rollins will remain off TV, possibly jailed, in storyline. Becky will feud with a new rival, possibly Rhea Ripley or Tiffany Stratton. Fall 2025. Rollins returns unannounced. Black gear. No music. No dancing. Just rage. Survivor Series. A potential Team Becky vs. Team Rollins in a War Games style event. Royal Rumble 2026. Rollins costs Becky a title opportunity. She challenges him to a match at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 42. The final confrontation. Rollins vs. Becky in a cinematic match or mixed tag with deep emotional stakes. WWE is reportedly all in on this angle, comparing it to Randy Orton vs. Triple H in 2009 or Edge vs. Matt Hardy in 2005, where real-life relationships fueled compelling TV. Becky's empowerment arc. Through all of this, WWE plans to give Becky Lynch the spotlight she deserves. She will be the hero of this story. A woman who stood up to betrayal. Who said no to toxic love. Who chose strength over